Let your kids watch it!
Welcome everyone to the Undercover Brony Reviews. The episode reviewed today will be Sweet and Elite, written by Megan McCarthy.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's finally happening. This is the episode that got me into the fandom.
This is the episode
that I watched that made me a brony.
Oh, damn, I didn't know that. Holy crap.
Yeah. So, let's get started. I'm John from TheUndercoverBrony.
I'm Snakeskin from a band you've never heard of, from two podcasts that you've never listened to. So this is Sweet and Elite. It's a rarity episode. This episode could not have come at a more perfect time because you see, up until Dog and Pony Show, everyone was like, man, screw Rarity. Then Dog and Pony Show comes out, and I'm like, okay, I see you, Rarity. And then this is the episode that made everyone go, Rarity kind of thick, though. Well, her character kind of thick, though. Mm-hmm. So this is, sorry. Before that, there was the Art of a Dress episode. That's where people were like, you're thick. But then this is the episode where they're like, you know what? You're attractive, but I also like you as a person.
Exactly.
She went from wham bam, thank you ma'am, to will you marry me?
Exactly. So the way I want to do this episode is we'll go through it like we normally do, but I'll kind of give my little inputs as to what I was thinking when I was first watching the episode. So let's get started. It starts out in Canterlot where Rarity is given a guest suite in the castle by Celestia, which is awesome. And I love how Rarity's just like so thankful. She's going all nuts. And then she does something, which when I first saw it, I'm like, what in the hell is this show? It's when Rarity goes down and starts kissing Celestia's hooves.
Hey, look, man, don't kink shame. Some people have hoof fetishes, bro.
Well, it's funny. I remember seeing a picture where it's Celestia's face going, I hope she doesn't discover my foot fetish. But I gotta say, when she was doing that, my first initial reaction was, what is this show? Who does this? Like, this is not normal for a kid's show. What is going on? So then you find out that Rarity is in Canterlot, and she's just sipping on coffee, I'm guessing, from the frothiness of it. Then she gets approached by two ponies by the name of Jet Set and Upper Crust.
I swear, I think Jet Set's the name of I think Jet Set was the name of it was like the name of an Evangelion angel, but I don't remember.
I'm Jet Set, and this is my wife, Upper Crust. We just saw you from across the cafe and just had to.
Who the hell were Upper Crust parents? Because they really must not have wanted her. Who names their child with any word supplemented by crust?
Well, then you find out Diamond Tiara's parents, and they're probably about the same type of bitch levels that Upper Crust.
Yeah, but at least Diamond Tiara, that's a name. You're just like, oh, her name's Diamond Tiara? Bro, that's not just a name. That's a product. That's a fashion accessory. That's a statement. She must be made of money. She probably gets high off of coke at her parents' club.
Maybe that's what was
like the Hollywood elites.
Maybe that's what was causing all those fillies and colts to go nuts in Twilight Time.
Oh, dude, I remember. Twilight Time.
Yeah, it just caused him to go into zombies because they were all super high. But anyway, so they were like wondering where she got her hat. And then Rarity gets interrupted by a hayseed turnip truck, which I found out later in Apple Family Reunion, he's actually a member of the Apple family.
Oh, yeah, I remember hearing about that.
He met Rarity at the Ponyville Hoedown the previous fall. And I'm like, Of course, they'd have hoedowns. Of fucking course they would. So then Jet Set and Uppercuts are like, oh, I thought it looked a little country. And they just, and walk away. And Rarity's like, it moves over into the suite. And she's just like, not something you can get in Canterlot. Looked at a little country. I'll show you something worthy of Canterlot. And she makes this drawing of a gorgeous, like, peacock-looking dress, which I was like, wow, that actually looks pretty cool. And so the next day, she's going shopping, and she has a bunch of bags and has Opal with her for the entire duration. Knocks into none other than Fancy Pants, and what I can only assume is his trophy wife, Fleur-de-Lis. Because I'm sorry, she acted like nothing but a trophy wife in this whole scene. She's just gawking and just laying on her husband and everything like that. This is awesome. So
Yeah.
we meet Fancy Pants, and I gotta say, he's probably the best character in Canterlot, just saying. Because he is just super nice, and he doesn't give a shit that she's, not from Canterlot, which we find out much later in the episode. But she's literally getting supplies to make a dress for Twilight's birthday. And he's like, okay, that's kind of cool. Listen, I have an extra couple of tickets to the Wonderbolts Derby this afternoon. Would you like to accompany me? Sure.
And this dude,
sure, why not?
This dude, when I first saw this episode, my first thought was, this dude sounds like John Cleese.
Dude, I can totally see that now.
This is the one, right? The trophy wife. He has the spectacles, blue hair, I think.
Uh-huh. Exactly.
Yeah. This dude, because this is Fancy Pants. Yeah, I swear, this is the dude that sounds like John Cleese.
You're gonna look up to see if he was voiced by John Cleese, aren't you?
No, I know he wasn't. I think that was actually Peter New.
Oh, really? If that's the case, then
see.
yeah, he did a great job. So I actually just looked it up, even though we did a jump cut there. He was voiced by Trevor Duvall, who also voiced Iron Will.
Iron Will, that's right. Hold on.
So that's
I'm going to type
pretty
an MLP pony that sounds like Led Zeppelin. Why is that the Google autofill? I'm not kidding. It says MLP pony that sounds like Led Zeppelin. Was there ever a pony in the show that just went, ah? I don't think so. John.
So instead of Immigrant Song, what would it be called?
Okay, I was right. It was Fancy Pants that I thought that sounded like
Okay.
John Cleese. Sounds like Led Zeppelin. I can't think about that. I can't get over that. Was there a pony in the show that just went, oh, baby?
No, but there was that one episode title, Once Upon a Zeppelin. Just saying. So
Led Zeppelin isn't that good. Listen to them again. Anyway, keep going.
I'd rather listen to Van Halen than Led Zeppelin, just saying.
Yeah, because Eddie Van Halen remembers how to play his riffs.
Yeah, plus you got,
There's so
got it
much
bad,
live
got
footage
it
of Jimmy
bad,
Page.
got it bad. I'm
not the teacher. There's so much live footage of Jimmy Page forgetting how to play his own guitar riffs. I don't care if Led Zeppelin 2 is like God tier, bruh.
Yep. So then I love what happens here because she wants to go to the Wonderbolts Derby, but she's realizing it's cutting into her time to make Twilight's dress. And she's weighing the pros and cons. This is the point where I was just like, wow, they're actually setting up consequences, and they're actually setting up conflict, and they're actually making this character weigh her choice. Wow.
Yeah.
I did not expect that from My Little Pony.
You didn't expect like actually multi-layered writing and dynamics.
Exactly. So she goes to the Wonderbolts Derby with this awesome hat. It's like a pink hat with like flowers coming off of it and everything. But she goes in and, Fancy Pants is like, she's staying at Canala Castle. And everyone's just like, oh my goodness, the princess. That's amazing. So then the race is about to start. Fancy Pants says that Spitfire is going to win. But yet, Rarity's like, I think Fleetfoot will beat her easily. And they all look at her and she's like, okay, wait. My friend Rainbow Dash says that what Fleetfoot lacks in size, she makes up for in speed. And so they ask her, who's this Rainbow Dash? Oh, she's the Wonderbolt's trainer, of course. And when I first saw the episode, I had no idea who Rainbow Dash was. So I fucking believed her. Then you get the fact that Fleetfoot actually wins. Everyone's just enjoying her. And they're walking down Camelot. And then you have all these different ponies saying, okay, Rarity, will you come to my charity ballroom? Rarity, will you come to my wine tasting? Will you do this? Will you do that? And she's like, I need to get this dress done. And everyone's just guilt tripping her, like, oh, I may have as well, and the whole thing if you can't attend. Really bad guilt tripping. And at that point, I would have just been like, I'm sorry, but if it means that much to you for me to be there, then you got your priorities mixed up, just saying. Then we get the song. And honestly, I did not hate this song when I first heard it. I was like, wow, this song is actually pretty good.
Yeah, I remember liking it. Granted, I watched the show in order. Well, in order after I watched the season 2 premiere. But watched that, went back and everything. I remember liking this song pretty automatically. Actually, at this point, I remember kind of feeling like, dude, Rarity has like the best solo songs.
I know.
Well, it helps that Kazumi Evans is a fantastic singer.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
I'm glad that I'm glad that they gave Kazumi time to moments to sing throughout the show. I'm glad that she got to voice a few characters because I think she's a good voice actress. Didn't she voice who's the main
Adagio.
What? Adagio. Yeah. She voiced Adagio. She even got a lead role in an anime dub. Well, it was a French-made anime. It was called Lolly Rock.
I think I heard of that anime.
Yeah, it's a funny name, but it was cute. It was a Magical Girls thing, but they fight with music. Yeah, no, actually, it was Kazumi Evans, and then the other two co-leads were Ashley Ball and Tabitha. It was.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was interesting role reversal because Kazumi, the main character in that, she was just, clumsy, everyday, every girl, whatever. Ashley played the co-lead, who was the black girl, voiced by Ashley Ball, but whatever, she was hot. She was like the serious, headstrong, like she wasn't the leader, but she was like the serious one, whatever. And Tabitha played like the goofy one, not like Pinkie Pie levels, but the goofy, quirky, not dumb, not stupid, but airheaded one. And I'm like, man. My two takeaways from Dan, Kazumi's really got the chops to make it in the voice acting industry, and two, holy hell, Tabitha St. Germain has some of the best range ever.
And I gotta say,
she can do everything. She can play smart, evil, dim-witted, cool, cute, dumb, sexy, angry. She can literally do everything. Why isn't she getting like 300 voice roles a year like Tara Strong? I love you, Tara, but let's be honest. You've been kind of phoning in the same performance for the last 6 years.
Yeah, but I do gotta say, you were talking about these three characters. They're basically the sirens anyway. Because, you have Kazumi Evans playing an Adagio-like character. You have Ashley Ball.
And you know what? The main character,
an Arya Blaze type character, and then you have Tabitha playing a Sonata-like character.
The funny thing about that, really quick before we move on, is the character Kazumi Evans played had like big poofy curly hair too.
That's so perfect. So
They had to do that on purpose a little bit.
mhm.
A little bit. Okay, keep going. But yeah, song slaps. It's great.
So one more thing I do have to say about the song that I love is the fact that you have the middle part where she's looking at two different pieces of food and everyone's following her. And the way she's singing during this point is, see how they hang on every word that I speak. My approving glance is what they all seek. Damn. Just damn. You find out she's about to leave. And then you have Jet Set and Upper Crust saying, hey, we're having a garden party tomorrow night. And so we'd like you to come. And she's like, wow, I can finally get in good with them now. That's awesome. But she's like, I'm about to leave because if I do this, I'll miss Twilight's birthday. And so she decides to lie and write home that Opal is sick. I can't come back while she's feeling under the weather.
Yeah.
And then you find out she's about to go to the garden party. And then you see all her friends right there outside of her suite. And I'm like, oh, shit. Then Fluttershy's like, how's Opal doing? Is she okay? And Rarity's just like, excuse me for a moment. Brings Opal into the fucking bathroom and just completely soaks her in water and puts her on the bed. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. That is funny. And then
That's
the next several minutes is legitimately quite funny, where she's going in between the two parties, Twilight's party and the garden party. And it reminds me a lot of Mrs. Doubtfire, because that was a great movie and that was a great scene. And it ends up to the one point where I laughed out loud, basically almost howled with laughter at this point. She's going between the two faster and faster, trying to make excuses for both. And then you have Rainbow Dash being like, what's with the cocaine mallet in your mouth? And it switches over to where it's just like, what cocaine mallet? And there's one right in her mouth. And I just start dying of laughter at that point. I'm just like, oh my gosh, that's fucking hysterical. And Twilight is very understanding. It's like, I didn't realize you were such a savvy business pony. You know, with all the ponies out there looking so posh and with the Grand Galloping Gala coming up. And I'm thinking, this probably should have been a season 1 episode because the Grand Galloping Gala doesn't come back until season 5. Just saying. But then her friends decide to invade the garden party. And the only person that I really think doesn't understand anything in this scene was Applejack, where she's just pulling up random bits of grass and flowers. It's like, what are you doing? It's a garden party after all. Then you have Twilight dancing in the middle, just going nuts. Just as bad as her Equestria Girls counterpart. Just saying. But then you find out that Fancy Pants comes up to Twilight. And he's just like, who made that dress for you? Oh, it's just... Oh, I would be more than happy to tell you. Rarity freaks out and is like, no, Fancy Pants, I have to show you something out the other end of the room. Well, hold on. This lovely young filly was just about to tell me who made this dress. It's like, what do you need to know about that silly old dress? And Twilight's like, well, this dress you made is beautiful. It's great because it's so simple. It's so me. everyone freaks out. This is where the pivotal moment comes, where she has to choose her friends over her status in Camelot and saying, yes, I know these mares, and they may not be as uptight as all you, but they're my best friends, and they are without a doubt the best ponies I've ever met in my life. And I will always defend them. Everyone starts laughing. These ruffians don't make me laugh. And I love how Fancy Pants is almost like the leader of the elite in Camelot, because he says, I, for one, find them charmingly rustic. Yeah, I agree with that assessment. They're definitely charmingly rustic. And so everyone stops laughing, and it eventually ends up to where Rarity finds out that, you know, she shouldn't be ashamed of where she's from. And I love that kind of message, because I have seen so many people that are ashamed of where they live, you know, because of whether it be crime or politics or what have you, where they're ashamed of where they are. But you should be proud of where you are. Any thoughts on that message?
I was gonna joke and say, except for Bakersfield, you know, in California, but nah, Bakersfield gave us corn.
Yeah.
Nah, I mean it's an important thing, because, you know, I'm not saying I myself applied it to this, but it can also just be. It's not just strictly a geographical thing. It's also like a personal, like family thing, you know, like, you know, you shouldn't be ashamed whether or not you came from money, came from no money, whether you came from, you know, the projects or a Vadio or like, you know, a mansion. You know, it's the fact that, you know, home isn't just where your homies are and family is. Home is like where you like, it's like where you are yourself, you know. It's like where you can go and just no expectations, no this, no that. That's where you can just be yourself. That's your genesis. That's where you got your start. That's, you know, you are who you are because of that. And I think Rarity understood that, you know, I mean, granted, you know, Ponyville didn't make Rarity. Well, let me rephrase. Ponyville didn't give birth to Rarity, but it's helped shape her into the more humble person that she became. Like, yeah, she had little vain moments here and there. I feel like a real argument could be made that Rarity actually had some of the more upfront, like, noticeable character development. I think Fluttershy could be a close second, but I really think Rarity you can make the case for, because like Rainbow Dash has that Naruto thing going on where it's not until you look back at old episodes you're like, oh my god, she was a piece of shit. You know, Applejack stayed mostly the same. If anything else, she just kind of like lightened up and got a bit of a sense of humor, but also like just developed naturally into this, like, not a mother role, but just this warm, confidant personality. Twilight, I mean, you could try to say Twilight's been developed, and yeah, she has, but I mean, like, if you compare season 1 and even 2 Twilight to the last 3-4 seasons, yeah, different character, but I feel like that Twilight has been given a lot of obvious developments in the sense of, you know, moves to Ponyville, then eventually gets wings, then the treehouse gets destroyed, then the stuff with Flash Sentry. I'm not saying like she didn't develop on her own or that she didn't develop naturally. She did, but she was given more like moments and obstacles to immediately overcome, because, you know, the finales and premieres, they all come down, they always usually focus on her and stuff. And then Pinkie Pie, I don't know, she stopped doing speed and switched to Coke. I don't know. The point is that I think Rarity, as shown in this episode, had like, you know, and it's not even just this episode. What was the one where her and Applejack switched roles for a day? Wasn't that? Didn't they call that episode like Trading Places or something? Or
Simple Ways.
Simple Ways, yeah. I mean, that's another one. You know, she's like, and you know, I'll give her this. She's also the one that like. if you look at it, she actually like admits her own flaws a hell of a lot more than the other main 6 do. So I'll tell you this: if Dog and Pony Show made you like Rarity, and then if Art of a Dress episode made you love Rarity, this episode is why I think. I mean, hell, it got you into the fandom. And it's not just you. I remember this is one of those episodes where I've talked to people and they're like, oh, yeah, no, this is a great first episode to show people. And, dude, I mean, I get it, you know. It's good. Rarity's like the best developed character in the show, as I've spent like 5 minutes telling you why. And this episode, I think, is a good... I think this is a good point to where you could look back at previous episodes and just be like, "Oh, damn, yeah, she developed." You know, that's why. What was my thing used to be? It was like, oh no, I never. I was gonna say like favorite pony is Fluttershy, and best pony I always said was Pinkie Pie, and like I meant that. But to be honest, Rarity was always a close second when it came to Pinkie Pie. She's good, dude. She's great. She's S tier. It's Tabitha St. Germain. You can't go wrong. She kind of got what's the word? She kind of got Flandernized a couple times, you know, and after a point, you couldn't take her crying seriously at all, and neither did the show did. But honestly, that's nitpick. She's like the most consistent one. It's just a fact in my mind, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I love Fluttershy, and I think she has a subtle arc that a lot of folks don't like to give credit to because for some reason it's 2020, and for some reason people still feel like it's necessary to hate on Fluttershy. We get it. You were pissed that she was the most popular character for 2 seasons. Get over it. They reduced her screen time.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, no, this episode rules. I like the message. I like everything. I like the song. It's great. It's practically perfect.
Yep. So what would you rate this?
I want to hear what you rate it, just because I feel like I know what you're going to say, but I want to hear it.
Screw it. I'm giving it a 9.5. This was a fun episode.
Oh, I was going to give it a 9.5 too. It's great.
Okay. Yeah, 9.5 from both of us. This was a great episode. It's a phenomenal Rarity episode. It's the episode that got me into the fucking fandom. And I still will remember, I'll still have very vivid memories of watching it for the first time because it did ingrain itself so vividly into my mind when I first watched it. So, yeah. Next episode is Secret of My Excess.
Oh,
the one where Spike grows big and we have a giant Godzilla reference. Or not Godzilla.
This is the one. Or as I like to call it, Sparity Ground Zero.
Exactly. So, until next time, that's it from me, John.
And me, Snakeskin.
And we'll talk to you guys later. Peace out, Dragon.
Adios.